In our previous movie, we looked at the primary functions of the trimmer: to preview our media clips before we add them to our movie, and to create pre-trimmed sub-clips for our project media panel. But the trimmer can also serve as a workspace for preparing your media files just before you add them to your timeline. We've got a small mini movie here on our timeline with some gaps in it that maybe we'll fill in. And we've got a clip here opened in our trimmer. And of course, we did that just by right-clicking on the clip here in our project media panel and selecting Open in Trimmer. I can create a trim region simply by positioning the playhead at one point, and I can choose from this menu here in the lower right-hand corner of the panel. Of course, I can use my keyboard shortcuts, which are either I or open bracket to start the trimmed area, and O or close brackets to end the trimmed area. And now, as you know, I can just drag this trimmed area directly to my timeline and use it in my movie. But there's some other tools in here that will add it automatically for you. I've got my trimmed area here. And if you look down here in the lower right-hand corner, you'll see two keys. One, add to timeline from cursor. Cursor is the playhead. And we have one, add up to the position of the cursor. And so if I take the cursor and I add it out here past the end of my movie, and I add up to the cursor, and you notice that it adds our file there to the left of the playhead. If I leave the playhead right where it is, and I select the other option, it's going to add the media or the trimmed area to the right of the cursor, and then the cursor is going to move down to the end of it. So you see, look at the present position of the cursor, and when I click on this button, Add to Timeline from Cursor, it adds it to the right of the cursor's old position, and now the cursor is at the end of those clips. Which of the video tracks will it add your file to? Well, that has to do with which one is armed. And if you want to know which one is armed, look over on the left-hand side of the interface there. These are the track headers. And you notice that one of the track headers has a little white dot on it. That little white dot means that that track is armed. And you can see that the number 3 video track was armed, and that's exactly where the trimmer added the clip. So whenever you have it added automatically, it's going to go to the track that happens to be armed at that particular time. I'm going to just delete these from my movie. Occasionally, you're going to have a reason to insert in between two clips another sub-clip. For instance, here on video track 1, I've got 2 clips and I've got a gap in between them. I can select that gap simply by double-clicking between them, and you see that now I have a selected region there. When I have a selected region, you notice that this button up here on my trimmer gets highlighted. That is the Fit to Fill button, and when I click that, my selected region is going to be nicely dropped right into that selected region on the timeline. So when I click on that, and once again, it's going to go to the armed track, which happens to be track number 1 in this case. And when I click it, it adds it right into that gap. Very, very nice. Some very, very nice tools there. One other trick you can do from the trimmer, and that is that you can add only the audio or only the video portion of a clip if you'd like. And you do that by toggling on a preference. So if I right-click on this trimmed area here, and I select video only, now when I drag this clip to my timeline, you notice that I only get the video portion of the original media clip in my trimmer. That's very nice, but it is a toggle. And remember that it's a toggle, which means that it remains on until you turn it off. So go up here, right-click when you're done, and select the option to select video and audio together again. Otherwise, you'll be using the trimmer in the future, and you'll keep dragging and dragging, and you just get the video portion and not the audio portion of the clip. So there are a number of great options that are available there in the trimmer for once you've trimmed your media to add them to your timeline. Think of the trimmer as a place where you can work on your media files before they're actually added to your movie. You can pre-trim your files. You can save those pre-trim files as subclips, or you can pre-trim your video or audio files and then send them directly to your timeline. It's sort of a preview area, a place to view and prepare your files before they actually become a part of your movie.